Assalamu alaikum, this is Shwama Tuzara. Today, my topic of discussion is the remodeling which occurs in the atria as a result of patient suffering from atrial fibrillation. Okay, now why I'm discussing this topic, this is very important to know, and is that when we are studying atrial fibrillation, we come across this point that remodeling occurs within the atria, and there is electrical remodeling and structural remodeling, contractile remodeling. So this is whole point. So this is very important to basically understand that what is remodeling, when it occurs, how it responds in the patient with atrial fibrillation, and is it beneficial or is it further causing worsening in the patient. So these all questions which will arise in your minds after you are giving a read, or you are researching, or you are learning this topic. So all your confusions will get cleared in this particular video. I hope it will help you out. So starting with our topic is remodeling. So what do you understand by the word remodeling? What is remodeling? Remodeling is basically it means that to improve, and right here, to improve the part that is damaged. Basically you can also call it renovation. So this is remodeling. Now what is remodeling? This point should be clear in your mind, that remodeling is something that the structure which is undergoing remodeling means that that structure is undergoing or is making some changes within it, within its function, within its structure, within its performing capacity, so that it can cope also with the stressful conditions he is facing, or he can improve his current functioning. So this is very important to clear your concept over it. I hope your concept about the remodeling word is clear. Now in this particular video we are concentrating on the atrial remodeling, okay, because atrial fibrillation most commonly occurs in the left atrium. So we will confine our discussion to the atrial remodeling, and more precisely the left atrial remodeling. Okay, now imagine how I have made a mnemonic to memorize, or it's a way to memorize that what are the types of remodeling, how these remodeling occurs, and in which duration these remodeling start. Okay, so let's start. First is that imagine this is an atrial tissue. Suppose this is an atrial tissue. It is in a stressful condition. Any stress is on this atria, or he is of the patient who is having atrial fibrillation, or there is increased calcium, or any other metabolic stressful condition. In all these conditions, this atria will try its level best to bring in it some changes, so that it can cope up in a better way with these stressful conditions and avoid damage and death of its original cells. Okay, what will this atria do? This atria has basically three options. Just recall or memorize, or just remember what an atria does. First of all, atria receives the electrical activity to get stimulated. So one is option is that electrical activity. Second, this atria, it responds to this electrical activity by contracting and relaxing. So second point is contractile ability. Third is that it has its own structure which help the atria in performing its characteristic function. So third point is its structural organization, you can say, or its structure basically. So this atria has these three tools by which he can show the remodeling, or it can undergoes the remodeling in order to cope with the stressful conditions it is facing. So this is atrial remodeling. Now you, up till now, this thing has been come into your mind, that what are the three types of atrial remodelings. One would be electrical remodeling, second would be contractile remodeling, third would be structural remodeling. So this is just a mnemonic to remember that what are the types of the atrial remodelings. Okay, now I'll discuss each of these atrial remodeling individually so that it becomes more clear to you, and in which order these appear I'll also tell you that. So starting from the very first one, which is the electrical remodeling. So what is electrical remodeling? How the atria shows this feature of electrical remodeling? What the atria does is that atria basically it reduces and eventually loss of the atrial refractoriness. Just a second, I'll explain you this. Now what is atrial refractoriness? This will come in your mind. Basically I have made a whole full-fledged video on the refractory period of the heart, so I'll share the link in the description box, so please have a look on that video. It will clear your concept. I'll briefly explain it here. What is refractory period? Refractory period is that duration of time, is that period during which an excitable atrial tissue will not get re-excited. So it's basically the time during which one atrial tissue will not get re-excited again. Fine. So what happens here, that this atria, its refractoriness is reduced and eventually is lost. Fine. Now what will happen, since the refractory period is now reduced, so what will happen, that the atria will re-excite again and again. Why? Because now its refractory period is reduced, so it will excite again, then again excite, so it will contract more. What this will do is that it will cause increase in the atrial contraction rate. So I'll explain you this point, that before, if the atria was contracting, suppose 50 beats per minute, now it is contracting for up to 300, 200, 150, 200, 300, and so on. So increase atrial contraction. So basically when the beats are increased, contraction rate is increased, so what we call is that they would be tachycardia. Fine. Atrial contraction rate is increased. So this is basically the point. Now this tachycardia has occurred. Now I'll explain it in single line, that the atria in atrial remodeling are now contracting more rapidly, but in uncoordinated and ineffective manner. So this line is very important. I'll explain it to you all. What is it? What is this line? This line is explaining that now why atria is contracting rapidly. This much we are very clear, that why, because atrial refractoriness is reduced, atria is re-exciting again and again, by which the atrial contraction rate is increased, so atrial tachycardia is going to occur. Fine. Uncoordinated and ineffective manner, I'll explain you in some time that why this thing occurs. Okay, so this is electrical remodeling. Now when will this remodeling occur? As soon as the patient, very important, as soon as the patient undergoes atrial fibrillation. So its duration, or when it will appear, is that it will appear from first days of atrial fibrillation. So initial, the change, first change that will occur, that is the electrical remodeling of the atria. Okay, now what will happen with this electrical remodeling, that now the atria which was already fibrillating has undergone electrical remodeling, so it will further contribute to sustaining or stabilizing the atrial fibrillation. So electrical remodeling, once it is now completed, what it will cause, that it will cause increase, or you can say persistence of atrial fibrillation. Now, what this persistence is? Atrial fibrillation is basically of three types: paroxysmal, persistent, and permanent. Paroxysmal is the asymptomatic stage. So, when a patient undergoes atrial fibrillation, it is suffering from atrial fibrillation. In its initial days, electrical remodeling will occur, and this electrical remodeling, what it does is that when it becomes completed, then the paroxysmal atrial fibrillation will now convert into persistent atrial fibrillation, means the patient has become more severe in this condition. Fine, this is all about the electrical remodeling. Now, our second type is, what was that? Contractile remodeling. So now we will discuss the that what is this contractile remodeling, how it occurs, when it occurs. We'll discuss it all. By the name, it's very evident that now its contractility will reduce. So what happens in contractile remodeling is that when the patient has atrial fibrillation and it is not treated, and it progresses to up to days to weeks of atrial fibrillation, the change then in this duration will occur will be contractile remodeling. Now, what is contractile remodeling? That the atria, their contractility will now reduce. What will atria do? That I have to contract more and more because of this disease, so I am going to reduce my contractility. The second option which it can do as a remodeling action. So, what will be the consequence of this problem that has been arised? Atrial contractility. Now, atria is not contracting more effectively. Atria contractility is reduced. So, what will happen? That atrial main function is now being decreased and ultimately lost. So, atrial transport function, that the function which it does to transfer the blood into the ventricle, is now reduced. When this function is reduced, then what will happen? Two effects. This is atria, this is ventricle. In the atria is unable to pump blood completely in the ventricles, so ventricles filling will be reduced, and this atria blood will start to pool up there. Why? Because of course it is not passing down, so blood will start to pool up here and decrease ventricular filling will occur. Okay, now when this blood, it will pool up in the atria. As we know, wherever the blood stasis occur, whenever and wherever in the body, very important point, blood stasis occur, it will increase the risk of thrombus formation. What? Thrombus formation means a clot will form there. Thrombus formation risk is increased, a clot will form there. What? Clot formation risk is increased, and of course it will then lead to embolus formation, and complication that will develop is systemic thromboembolism. So this is the first consequence that has developed. Second, when continuously blood is pooling up here, what will happen? This atria will dilate. It is the same example as you take a balloon, you keep on filling water in it, it will dilate. It will same is the thing which is applied on the atria. Since blood is pooling there, is not ejecting in the ventricles, its function is decreased, and as a result, one, and the second is that atrial dilatation occurs. Now, very important, when atrial fibrillation is present in the patient, atrial dilatation, it further contributes to increase or worsening the atrial fibrillation. Why? I'll explain you better in the whole video of atrial fibrillation. So up to now you just learned that whenever atria will dilate, the surface area for impulse to recirculate within it will increase and atrial fibrillation will worsen up. Fine. So this is all the contractile remodeling. When it occurs during days to weeks of atrial fibrillation, and it occurs in response to the medical or the electrical cardioversion. that we perform on the patient as a treatment, it also occurs as a consequence of this medical or electrical cardioversion. So we're left with just the third remodeling, that is the, you all know, is structural remodeling. Okay, now what is structural remodeling, when it will occur, we'll discuss now. This is now the atria has tried its effort to improve the atrial fibrillation, to cope up with atrial fibrillation by firstly with electrical remodeling, secondly with the contractile remodeling, and now the only option that is left with atria is that it changes its structure in response to the stress to cope up with the stressful condition. So what the atria will do is that atria will undergo some changes in its structure. First of all, whenever it is dilating, the atria is dilating, so the cell size of the atria will increase. First change that occur is atrial cell size increase. Second change, it has to contract more because of the disease, it is in the stressful condition, so it will increase the energy reserves in it. When it will increase energy reserves, so what will happen is that perinuclear glycogen deposition occurs. This is the second change. And the third change that occur is that energy the atrial muscle cells, they undergo myolysis. Now what is myolysis? That their sarcomeres, which are the main organ that cause contraction of the muscle cells, they are now lost. Death of the sarcomeres occur. This is myolysis. So these are the three changes, although there are more changes too, but these are the three main changes that you should memorize or you should know, which occur in the structural remodeling. And this is basically whole of the remodeling topic, and this is the last option. After it, the atria will completely lose its function and atrial failure would occur, and the disease will progress to the permanent atrial fibrillation. Now this structural remodeling, it doesn't occur that today I am suffering from atrial fibrillation, tomorrow I will have structural remodeling. No, it is an eventual process. It will occur in weeks to months of atrial fibrillation. If it continues not treated, patient has not treated its atrial fibrillation, then this structural remodeling will occur. This is all about the remodelings. Fine, just a brief overview summary in few words. What is remodeling? It is an attempt which a tissue or a thing undergoes to improve within it, to cope with its surroundings or in the conditions which it is living. There are three types: electrical remodeling, contractile remodeling, and the structural remodeling. What is electrical remodeling? Atria reduces its atrial refractoriness. As a consequence, what happens that tachycardia develops and atrial fibrillation becomes persistent. Second is the contractile remodeling. In it occurs within days to weeks of atrial fibrillation. Atria contractility is reduced in it, and as a consequence, what happens that atrial dilatation will occur and increase risk of systemic thromboembolism, which further worsens the atrial fibrillation. Third is structural remodeling. In it, the atria cell size is increased, energy reserves are increased within it, and sarcomeres death occurs, that is myolysis occurs. It occurs weeks to months after the development of atrial fibrillation and mostly is in permanent atrial fibrillation. So this is all about my topic of remodeling that occurs in atrial fibrillation. I hope this video helped you out, cleared your concept about how atria undergoes remodeling. Please give me your feedback in the comment section. Thank you so much for your time, for your patience. Thanks a lot for subscribing my channel and giving me your support. At the end, I like to thank my teachers who brought me at this point that I am helping others. They inspired me a lot. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, Allah Hafiz. See you in the next video.